Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever just stopped and wondered, why is our world the way it is? I mean, why do we have communities and rules and economies? Well, today, we're going to unlock some of those secrets. We're talking about a powerful set of tools designed to understand the most complex subject out there, which is, us. So let's dive right in.
So here's what we've got on the docket. First, we'll talk about the science of us. Then, I'm going to hand you your very own social toolkit. After that, we'll see how to connect all this to everyday life, look at the values that really build society, and wrap it all up with a modern Indian perspective to see how it all works in the real world.
All right, so first up, the science of us. And we're going to start this whole thing in a place that's super familiar, the world right outside your window.
I mean, seriously, just take a second and think about it. Why do we all live together in communities instead of, just going it alone? Who comes up with the rules we all follow? And how do we manage everything, from the water coming out of our taps to the food we buy at the market? Yeah, none of this just happens by accident.
There's actually a name for digging into these questions, and it's called social science. And look, this isn't about guesswork or just someone's opinion. It's the real deal. A careful, organized, and systematic way of studying human society, how we all relate to each other, and all the big things we've built, like governments, schools, you name it. Okay, so what is this social toolkit? Well, here's the thing. Social science isn't just one big subject. It's way better to think of it like a toolkit, right? And inside, there are 4 core tools that help us see the full picture. So let's crack it open and see what's inside.
Tool number 1, geography. This is your where and why there tool. It's all about understanding how the Earth itself, the landforms, the climate, the resources, shapes our lives. I mean, ever notice how most big cities are right next to water? That's not a coincidence. That's geography at work. It's literally the ground we build everything on.
Okay, next tool in the kit, history. And listen, this is not about memorizing a bunch of boring dates and names. History is the tool that tells us, how did we get here? It gives us all the context. It shows us the whole journey of how society has changed and why the present looks the way it does.
All right, tool number 3 is political science. Now, this one's really interesting because it's all about the rules of the game. It's how we look at government, laws, rights, basically how we govern ourselves. It examines everything from your local town council all the way up to the national level.
And the last tool in our kit is economics. At its heart, this one is all about choices. The thing is, we can't have everything, right? So economics looks at how we manage what we do have, our resources. It covers everything from how a family makes a budget to how the entire global economy works.
So that's our toolkit: geography, history, political science, and economics. But here's the secret. Their real power? It comes from using them together. So let's see how that works when we try to understand a really complex issue.
Okay, picture this. There's a huge flood in a city. You see it on the news all the time. But have you ever wondered why some communities are just devastated while others seem to get off almost untouched? One tool by itself is never going to give you the full story.
This is where you need the whole toolkit. Your geography tool explains the physical side of things, the rainfall, the rivers. Your history tool can show you why some neighborhoods were built in risky, low-lying areas in the first place. Then, economics comes in and shows you how poverty plays a huge role and how people's livelihoods get wiped out. And finally, political science helps us look at the government's role, in disaster planning and relief efforts. See how it all connects? It's a web.
So, it's one thing to understand how society works, but social science goes a step further. It also gives us a kind of blueprint for making things better. It's not just about pointing out problems, it's about imagining a better world, and it's all guided by some really important values.
But before we get to those values, we've got to clear something up. It's super important. We hear the word equality all the time, right? Treating everyone the same. But there's another idea that's maybe even more powerful: equity. And that's all about fairness. It recognizes that, hey, not everyone starts from the same place, so different people might need different things to have a real fair chance.
And this picture? It just nails the difference. See, equality is giving everyone the same box to stand on. But it doesn't really work for the shortest person, does it? Equity, on the other hand, is about giving people the support they actually need. So in this case, everyone can actually see the game. That's what we're aiming for.
So these are the 4 big guiding values we're talking about. Valuing our diversity, making sure everyone is truly included, thinking about sustainability for the future, and of course, striving for that all-important equity. These are like the North Star for social science. They help us build solutions that are actually fair and just for everybody.
Okay, so let's put it all together. Let's talk about what this toolkit and these values look like when they're actually put into action in the real world.
And you don't have to look far. Just take the preamble to India's constitution. This thing isn't just some old piece of paper. It's a living document. It's a social contract. And when it talks about justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity, that is a textbook example of using social science principles to build a modern, diverse nation.
And what's really key here is the idea of a scientific temper. That means to really get what's going on in society, you have to look for actual evidence. You have to look for multiple causes for things. You can't just rely on rumors or stereotypes or simple explanations that only tell one side of the story. You've got to use the whole toolkit.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Social science is so much more than just a school subject. It's a real, practical toolkit for being an active, informed citizen. It gives you the power to not just understand the world around you, but to actually get involved and help make it a better place.
So we've talked about the science of us, we've unpacked the toolkit, and we've seen how it can help build a more just world. Now, those tools are yours. The only question left is, what are you going to build? Thanks so much for joining me.